Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this very well could be their reversal. There are multiple indicators and factors that this very well is the reversal, from technical analysis to pretty much the liquidity indicator that lags pretty much 75 days for crypto, which we're approaching, right? We are a couple days away from hitting that 75-day mark. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, other bullish news that has been consistently coming out for the last little while. Now, if we go look at Bitcoin itself, we can see that this candle actually flipped to a green candle. Yes, it has flipped officially to a green candle, which means that we are higher currently than where we started. Now, we still have, Thursday, or not Thursday, what am I saying? We still have Saturday and Sunday to go to get the official close. But if it looks something like this, then I am really, really going to flip to the bullish sentiment, right? That doesn't mean we're going to get a straight pump right away. We can still stall out in this area a little bit longer for maybe a couple days or a week before we recover. The beautiful thing is, ladies and gentlemen, that when we go on the weekly, we have so much imbalance. Literally, the whole candle from, you can see roughly from the 85,000 mark to 95,000 is pure imbalance. So we can get this recovered in literally a couple hours. And that is the reality, right? That is the reality. Now, the only thing we have to be careful for slightly is the CME gap, which we have at roughly 85, 86,000. If I go here, we can see that we are almost approaching the gap and we have almost filled it up. So we have to see how we react off of that. But generally speaking, it is looking really, really good, right? It is looking really, really fantastic. And I do expect things to be bullish. I've been saying that this is simply a higher low, right? Bitcoin going down, Bitcoin going to lower levels is simply a higher low on the higher time frame, right? We are still creating a staircase to the upside. And there's no reason to be bearish. We were consolidating for roughly 7.5 months, right? 7.5 months of sideways movement on top of the roof, turning it into a floor so that we can go off. So for me, it wouldn't even make sense logically and even from a technical analysis standpoint to consolidate, retest for 7.5 months, have an expansion just to crash down below. It just doesn't make sense, and that's just not how this works. Okay, it is not how this works. So super, super bullish at this current moment. The higher we close, the bigger the pullback will be, or the bigger the push will be to the upside. That is what I truly do believe. We don't need a full-on correction to 70K. We could, if we wanted to, do it the most technical, fundamental way, but the markets don't have to retrace, 85, 90, 95%, or even 100% from the top to this relevant bottom. It doesn't have to be that way. We've seen it time and time again, even here, right, when there was lots of bullish news, a lot of bullish momentum, we had a little bit of a pullback. We swept the last weekly candle, we rejected, and we went flying, right? We don't need to pull back super, super, super far. So very, very exciting. I am super excited for the spring, summer, and fall time. Generally speaking, I do believe that is when we will be seeing the most price action, ladies and gentlemen. Super, super excited. If we go to the monthly candle at the moment, this is what we like to see, right? This is what we like to see. The reason why we have to see this is because that means there's not that much selling pressure, but there's not much buying pressure, which means we are building a foundation roughly around the 86K mark to 79K mark, and we are preparing to expand further up. That is why it is absolutely beautiful. We go to Bitcoin dominance for a second, right? We can see, generally speaking, we have been climbing up. It has been a slow ride up, but I will say there's a huge but. It has been very, very fundamental. So I do expect the dominance to continue going to upside. Could see a little bit of a sell once we get to 64 to 63.5%, right? We could see a little bit of a drop off there, but just very, very temporarily to then push higher. And that is what we want to see. We want this journey to come closer to an end. I know most of us just want to cash out at this point, but trust me, ladies and gentlemen, things will recover nicely and things will expand nicely. We'll talk about a few coins in just a second, so do not worry about that. But two more things I do want to talk about is the altcoin dominance for altcoins outside the top 10, right? So this is pretty much relevant for all of us. We can see it has been very, very weak, and we are technically, for structure wise, looking to be going lower and lower. However, there is an institutional candle right over here where we could very well bounce off before we continue going up. Now, if things for some reason went super, super down, there is this last institutional candle here, and it may or may not happen, but we'd have to see how everything pans out. One important thing to note is, I made another trend line right over here. This dotted one on top. Every time we've had a trend, we've seen it break, but then just rapidly recover. And that could very well be the same thing. Remember, before we saw price or this go down here below the trend line, at that moment, the current trend line was this, right? People were taking it from here. Oops, not this. From here to pretty much roughly here. And, some people would have been taking it from here, but this is how it was most likely accurate. And we can see the trend line did break, but then we reversed. And now we are a very, very, very similar scenario where we broke a trend line, right? We broke a trend line, but the reversals may be happening soon. And once they do, man, oh man, I promise you things will be accelerating really, really fast, right? We can see from pretty much the end of December till May. So 4 months of straight green, then a little bit of rejection, back until pretty much beginning of August, and another rally up until the beginning of 2022. So this is what I expect, right? This is what I expect. If we do get a green rally similar for another 4 to 5 months soon, then what that would be April, May, June, July, August for 5 months, right? So that's what I'm saying. Those 4 to 5 months, that's what I'm saying. Summer, fall time could very well be their first pump, the first big pump. Now we will talk about some coins quickly, right? Render is looking solid. We have tapped into this area over here. Very, very good buying opportunity, right? We can see that coins are starting to give reversal signs, just like Bitcoin. Kaspa 2, right? Things are creating reverse head and shoulders. Things are looking to be heading up. And I really do believe this is going to be it, right? Obviously, if you want the full on confirmation, I already said Kaspa has to go 11 cents. But in terms of what we see on a smaller scale, for me, this looks very, very lovely. Multiple coins are rejecting in beautiful, beautiful areas. So I think this is it, right? I think this is it. I think the exciting times are here, and I cannot personally wait. Same thing with Turbo, right? Same thing with Turbo. Some lifeline is to be seen. Now, of course, we have to obviously get more and more big confirmation to really confirm. But in terms of spotting reversals early, I feel like there's an 80% chance that this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We see it for Ondo too. We see it for every single coin, and I am super, super excited. Once again, with Bitcoin, we can see even the daily closes. When we go back over here, bang, bang, right? We can see up when it went down, it closed above this. So it's creating a staircase up already. So exciting times. We just got to make sure we don't get baited by the CME gap. And if we don't, then things are looking fantastic. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.